Today I want to talk to you about something very close to home, sexual consent and rape and sexual assault. It's not a happy topic by any means, but it's very important to me. I've had past experiences through a family member who's growing up, I've always been told about it, and so I wanted to share that message with you guys today. I have a couple of points I want to touch upon, hopefully I'll get through all of them. First one, I want this message to be about owning your body. I want you guys to know that your body is yours. It's no one else's to violate or tell you that you haven't, they haven't hurt you or anything like that. It's yours, and your consent is everything. And it should be everything to that person. See what I'm saying? So it's my body, and my consent is everything. And I believe that everyone should respect that. I respect that you your consent, I also think this leads on to the second point, is that you notice that we kind of teach people how to avoid rape rather than not to rape. Which I think is really interesting, that I feel like it's almost a given that you shouldn't violate someone's body, human rights like that. We just are taught how to avoid it. Which I don't think is right personally. I think you should get to the source of it. And it's not fair that, I just don't think that's fair, personally. I don't know about you guys. I was talking to people through this week and I was like, I have to do this talk and I don't want to mess it up, and who knows what might happen, but I was noticing, I was like, a lot of people, a lot of us associate rape victims, we associate females with rape victims. And I thought about it and I was like, that's not completely true. Rape happens to men as well. And I feel like by assuming that only men can rape, we almost attach a bit of dominance and strength to rape, which glamorises it to a certain extent, which isn't right. Men can be raped too, which isn't fair. 1 out of 10 rape victims are male. That's too many. You might think, oh, that's not very many. Considering that rape is a thing at all, that's, the fact that we have rape victims at all is too many. Even if we have one, that's one too many. Two is too many. The amount we have is too many. I want to touch on a case that's very relevant today. I'm sure most of you know about the Brock Turner Stanford rape case. Yeah? Okay. I was reading the rape victim's letter the other week, and it made me think again about how internal the effects are of rape. And we can't see much of that. And I think that's why, as a society, we always tend to disregard to a certain extent what that victim's going through. And I think that's why that victim gets questioned so much. It isn't fair. This victim was talking about, I have a quote here, which I think was really interesting. I was pummeled with narrowed, pointed questions that dissected my personal life, love life, past life, family life. Inane questions accumulating trivial details to try and find an excuse for this guy who had me half naked before even bothering to ask for my name. This victim, if you think about it, they'd gone through a year of coming out to this court, explaining what happened to them, just to be interrogated. The fact that they were being so heavily questioned and people weren't thinking as much about that point, maybe about the rapist. The thing it's victim shaming. That victim's come out and they've shared their story and they've just been completely pulled apart, to see if there's any ulterior motive. We can't, why can't we take someone's case here is genuine, someone's been hurt and they're calling out for help and we're not giving them that help, we're just almost pushing it to the side. Another quote I found which really was quite upsetting, I thought. When I was told to be prepared in case we didn't win, I said I can't prepare for that. He was guilty the minute I woke up. Again, I feel like in this case, I feel like a lot of you should agree with me that Brock Turner is very guilty here. Is that a general? Yeah? But, he got a very short sentence, I think, for what he did. This woman, she says, she lacks so much trust in, people around her. She can't, imagine that for a sec. You go outside and you just can't trust anyone around you again. You lose that complete trust in, family or relationships. She couldn't go to sleep without the light on and fearing that she'd wake up somewhere that she wasn't meant to be. I think that's something important to think about. I think the effects of something like this are always so much more internal than they are external. And I feel like maybe if we could see that, if we could see the effects so much, maybe we would treat this a lot differently. I'd like to finish on that. Thank you.